Jerry Jones' latest comments have Cowboys fans reading between every line. On the surface, it sounded like standard talk, but dig deeper, and it hints at another big swing on defense coming sooner than expected. The wording, the confidence, and the timing all suggest Dallas isn't done making aggressive moves. Is this about a splash signing, a bold trade, or a philosophical shift? Whatever Jerry really meant, one thing is clear: the Cowboys may be gearing up for another major defensive move, and Cowboys Nation is on alert. Another big swing on defense? That's the question everyone in Cowboys Nation is asking right now, and it all comes back to one man and a few carefully chosen words. Jerry Jones spoke, and when Jerry speaks, the NFL listens. But here's the thing: what he said isn't nearly as important as what he meant. Because buried inside his comments was a message that could completely change how the Dallas Cowboys attack this offseason. Let's set the stage. The Cowboys once again finished the season with talent, expectations, and a roster that on paper looked like it could compete with anyone. And yet, when it mattered most, the defense cracked. Not because of a lack of stars, but because of breakdowns, mismatches, and an inability to adjust when elite offenses punched back. That frustration has been building, not just among fans, but clearly inside the front office. So when Jerry Jones talked about the defense, he didn't sound emotional. He sounded calculated, calm, almost surgical. And that's usually when the biggest moves are coming. Jerry said the Cowboys are always looking for ways to improve impact, especially on defense. Now, on the surface, that sounds like classic Jerry talk. Something we've heard 100 times before. But this time, the context matters. Because he didn't mention development. He didn't mention patience. He didn't mention waiting on young guys to grow. He talked about impact. Immediate impact. And that's the key word you should not ignore. When Jerry Jones talks about impact players on defense, he's not talking about rotational pieces. He's not talking about depth signings. He's talking about game wreckers. The kind of players that offenses have to scheme around. The kind of players who change how a game feels before the first snap even happens. This is where the phrase "another big swing" starts to make sense. The Cowboys have already proven they're willing to swing big on defense. Trading for a lockdown corner. Drafting high upside edge rushers. Paying top dollar for players they believe can tilt the field. And despite public perception, Jerry Jones has never been afraid to go all in when he believes the window is open. Right now, that window is very real. You have a quarterback in his prime years. You have elite offensive weapons. You have a defense that, while flawed, is stacked with talent. The missing piece isn't effort, it's consistency and leadership when things go wrong. And that's exactly what a major defensive addition can provide. What Jerry really meant wasn't just "we're open to improvement." What he meant was this: the Cowboys are not done reshaping this defense. Think about how offenses attacked Dallas late in the season. They targeted mismatches. They forced the Cowboys out of their comfort zone. They exposed communication issues and a lack of adaptability. And Jerry knows it. He may not say it bluntly, but he's watched this league for decades. He understands patterns. He understands windows. And most importantly, he understands urgency. That urgency shows up in how he talks about defense compared to offense. There's no talk of tearing things down. No talk of long-term rebuilding. Instead, it's about adding something or someone who changes the equation immediately. Another big swing on defense doesn't necessarily mean one specific position. It could be a dominant interior presence who collapses pockets and frees up edge rushers. It could be a versatile linebacker who erases tight ends and shuts down the middle of the field. It could even be a chess piece defender who allows the coaching staff to disguise coverages and play more aggressively. And here's where Jerry's history matters. Every time Jerry Jones feels like the Cowboys are close, he makes at least one move that surprises the league. Sometimes it's a trade no one saw coming. Sometimes it's a free agent signing people thought Dallas wouldn't spend on. And sometimes it's a draft pick that screams win now instead of long-term project. The key thing is timing, and the timing feels right now. There's also another layer to what Jerry meant: accountability. When he talks about improving impact, he's indirectly acknowledging that what they currently have wasn't enough. That's a subtle but powerful admission. Jerry doesn't make those lightly. He protects his organization publicly. So when he hints at change, it usually means discussions have already happened behind closed doors. That includes conversations about scheme, coaching, and player roles. Because another big swing on defense isn't just about talent, it's about fit. Dallas has players who excel when everything is clicking. But championship defenses don't rely on perfect conditions. They adapt. They respond. They dominate when momentum swings the other way. That's what Jerry is chasing now. He's not chasing splash for headlines. He's chasing control. And that's why this offseason feels different. The Cowboys aren't just evaluating who they can add. They're evaluating who they can trust in January. Who shows up when offenses know exactly what's coming. Who doesn't flinch when the game tightens. Who leads when noise gets loud. Jerry Jones knows championships are won by defenses that impose their will, not just react. And his comments suggest the Cowboys want to impose again. Now let's talk about the pressure factor. Jerry also understands the narrative around this team. He hears the criticism. He knows the jokes. And while he'll never admit it publicly, that stuff fuels him. Because nothing motivates Jerry Jones more than proving people wrong on the biggest stage. Another big swing on defense is a statement move. It says the Cowboys aren't satisfied with regular season dominance. It says they're done being predictable. It says they're willing to take risks to change how opponents prepare for them. And when Jerry starts thinking that way, conservative decisions go out the window. Look at how the league is trending. Elite quarterbacks are everywhere. Offensive innovation is nonstop. The only way to keep up is with defenders who are versatile, violent, and smart. Jerry knows that. And his comments reflect a front office that understands standing still is the same as falling behind. So what Jerry really meant was simple, even if he wrapped it in owner speak. The Cowboys are not running it back unchanged. They are not assuming internal growth will magically fix everything. They are actively hunting for a difference maker. And that should excite Cowboys fans. Because whether it comes through a blockbuster trade, a bold free agent signing, or a high-impact draft move, Dallas is clearly positioning itself for something bigger. Something louder. Something that shifts the balance. Another big swing on defense isn't a rumor. It's a mindset. And when Jerry Jones locks into that mindset, history tells us one thing: something is coming. Now the only question left is not if the Cowboys make that move. It's when. If you're a Cowboys fan, buckle up. Because this offseason might just redefine what this defense looks like and what this team is truly capable of when January arrives again. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want daily Cowboys news, rumors, and real analysis without the fluff, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Cowboys Nation.